Ring, 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 hello, simps and virgins. And peasants.
Oh my fucking god.
And welcome back
and
to
spiders.
Krown's... No, bananas. Magical!
Where did that one come from? You have some shit on your face.
Asli so.
Like
Magic internet money came.
Like actual shit. You should get that checked out. Wipe it off immediately with alcohol wipes. Get it off. It's disgusting. Welcome back to the Eric Crime Crypto channel. It's a lovely Friday over here. It's Baldur's Gate 3 Friday, and I am not going to be playing today, actually. Unfortunately, don't even have the fucking game. And I'm coming at you live from the fucking spider's nest right now, apparently, too, because there's spiders just crawling all over this bitch as Helsinki goes from summer into fall pretty abruptly over the last week. And now there's these little creepy crawlies like everywhere in this goddamn place. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. I left the balcony door open for one day, and now they're everywhere. They're crawling in my fucking hair. Oh god, man, maybe my hair just is a massive spider. Anyways, yes, I see a lot of people shouting out Baldur's Gate, Baldurpskate also as well. Good game, great game, indeed, man. Looking forward to it. Don't spoil any of the surprise for myself. Because I'm probably going to take like a whole year to get through the damn thing. Fire it the hell up, man, says Crypto Clown World. I agree, man. Man, I just bought this damn apartment, but it's time to set it on fire. Just get rid of it. It's all gone. It's all for nothing. It's all for naught. Indeed, man. Love you too, Mr. Fractal. This is Jackson. And good morning to everyone out there who's watching right now, who is joining in on this nice little community get-together as we get together to once again witness Bitcoin going fucking sideways for 6 weeks in a row. 6 weeks or 7 weeks in a row. Matador MC says, Putin will tap the supply. Lol. I hope he's not tapping my supply. My supply is very nice and tight. I want no tapping of my supply. You can go tap fucking Ukraine supply. Nope, just kidding. Just maybe go tap no one's supply. How about that? No tapping of the supply. Leave the supplies alone. And I forgot to make this big screen over here. My bad. There we go. Krown, would you like to meet Putin in all seriousness? I don't know. Does he speak English? Because I don't speak Russian, so it'd be very difficult to communicate unless we're just going to like stand there and look at each other, which is probably how Russians do it anyway. So I don't know, man. Vita says the intro song was fire. Fuck yeah, man. I missed that shit. And again, good morning to everyone who's joining in right now. I see that we got 500 people watching. That's great. That's amazing, especially during these very dark and very boring times, really. Sexy girl slots. That's did you forget a letter there or something? What's going on? Good morning for the Philippines. Good morning to you as well. Philippines, good place. A lot of Filipinos actually around me when I was growing up. Very nice people. Very, very nice people, in fact. Sound like Trump right now. Very great people. They're the best people. Can Elsa tap your supply? I prefer, again, my supply, no tapping. Tight supply, you can go have a nice wide supply. Loose supply, not for me. Tight supply, that's what I want. Tight supply. Elsa, take your fucking tight supply and go shove it up your loose supply. Good morning, crypto virgins. I am too a crypto virgin as well, sir. Good morning, Mr. Blue, J3F. Good morning to you as well. Z's, bro. Oh God, man. It's like I'm fucking Z's, bro. It's always cracked me the hell up. It's like I remember when was this? This was like 2010. This is like 2010 when the whole fucking Z's phenomenon was going on. It's crazy. People still are like gung-ho about that shit. Absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely fucking insane. Anyways, good morning to you as well, Mr. Davo. Just Rock Up says, how's it from Cape Town? What is how's it? What is how's it? I don't know what how's it is, but I hear people say it all the fucking time. I don't know what it means, but if it means how are you in some sort of down under language, I'm good, man. How you doing? Bonjour from Canada. That's right. They speak French over there, don't they? Put my big supply in the small supply, says Post. Yes, that's right. Now we're just going to fucking Lego this shit in. Or what's it called? Tetris. Yes, we're going to Tetris all the supplies up, and who knows what happens after that. Catacomb says, Confucius say, if your farts sound like wind, tunnel your supply too loose. That's exactly right, my man. But how do you tighten up the supply? How can one tighten up the supply? I knew Z's. He inspired all the 16 to 19. Yeah, he inspired all the 16 to 19 year olds. But now those are like 30-year-olds who are still like, I'm fucking Z's, bro. You know, it's so fucking silly. It's so fucking silly. I mean, he like the actual Z's guy, who's probably like a cool dude, but man, like seeing all the fucking all like the videos and shit that came out afterwards, like, guys, you need a father. You need a dad. You need a daddy. You need a daddy. You just didn't have a good daddy, and I understand what's happening over here. And you know what, man? I feel bad for you. Go find your daddy. Go find your daddy and tighten up that fucking supply, you little bull flag. Good morning from miserably hot Malta. Definitely on the other side of the world for me then. Helsinki spider weather sounds nice. No, actually, I do prefer to not be that damn hot, man. I could not stay in those like 35 plus degree weathers right now. It's just terrible, man. Tell me you played RDR2 Krown. Of course I did, man. One of the best games of all time. Truly one of the best like narrative games of all time, in fact. Kaz TA, please, Krown. Yeah, we can look at that one later. Is that Carl the Moon shitcoin, or is that the other one that sounds like it but is actually pretty good? Hi from Oregon, spelled exactly how I'd expect it from someone from Oregon. I actually went to the University of Oregon. Great place, kind of. It was a fun time. I don't know how much I will learn though. 35 is brutal. Yeah, man, too damn hot, you know. And that's the thing. It's a lot easier to get warm when you're cold than to get cold when you're already warm. It's been 115 in Florida on the index. Oh God, man, that is just death there too, because people don't understand. It's humid. Like it feels like it's wet. Like you're not just sweating, but the air is heavy and it's wet, and breathing is difficult. Okay, but you have pools, says Elsa, but that's a bunch of bullshit, and it does not change the fact. Bob March, hello from Norway. We're almost neighbors, almost. Norwegians, apparently some of the best at English, actually, as well. Although it's Norwegians, they sound like they're singing when they speak English, so... It actually sounds like they're singing when they speak English. It's nice. Anyways, we're going to get into the content relatively soon here. I just want to give a little bit more time for people to come in. I do understand that it is, pretty fucking quiet, and we can't really expect too much today. But just a few more people, give it a few more minutes, and then we'll see, and then we'll see what the situation is, and then we can go through the content of the day. Which actually there is two new things to be speaking about. Big focus is really on time analysis today, actually. 15 days straight of 100 plus in SoCal. Fuck my life, dude. What the actual hell? And you got all the damn smog there too. Unless if you're in San Diego. San Diego probably the best place in California, I would have to say. The boring market. Yeah, it is a pretty damn boring market. Realistically, or I'm actually curious, because I suspect that a lot of people who are in the chat right now, you are probably here, or you've probably been here for like, at least the last couple of years, maybe even the last 5 years. Does this portion of the market cycle start to remind you of any prior time, in just terms of boringness? Hello from Sweden. Nice, Sweden. Sweden. All Finnish people aspire to be Swedish people. It's just the truth, and they get really mad when you tell them that. But they all know it deep down that every Finn is born with this intrinsic desire inside that they just want to be Swedes. Elsa says, not anymore. They have immigration problems. Elsa, go back to Twitter, okay? Jesus Christ. Elsa's on a tear on Twitter. She's going after all of like the fat acceptance, and she's going after what else? You went after Lizzo, like terrible. You went after. I want everyone to know what she did because it's funny. I'm part Finnish, says Rules Crypto. Nice, man. Which part? Which part of you? Here, since Krown was covering 4,000, 5,000 Bitcoin. Yeah, man, that was an incredibly boring time. Holy shit, man. Super boring. Super, super boring. Yeah, if you want like far right takes, just follow Elsa on Twitter. I think her name is Elsa Toshi now. She actually is like, she's actually pretty funny on Twitter. I'm not just saying that because I'm her boyfriend, but it's like, she makes me laugh. She's going to post a video of her dancing too soon, is what I hear. Elsa is based. Wow. Indeed, she's based. Very tight supply. Very, very tight supply. It's good. Take her to Detroit if you ever can. I don't think she would survive one day in Detroit, man. You have to understand, Finnish people are born into like, they will never have a problem ever in their life, except for like self-imposed problems, because like people just they make up their own fucking problems here. Like alcoholism is a really big problem here, and addiction is a really big problem here. But that's, these are not problems of like everyone's fucking poor and you can't find a job and herpity derpity. These people, like, they're just, it's all sunshine and rainbows, basically. Maker just wrecked my supply. We could maybe look at some of those shitcoins a little bit later. We need a Fib Botswana update. I agree. I'll reach out to him probably soon, but I suspect that he doesn't have too much to update on just yet as well. Fib Botswana typically hits me up when he's like, hey, I got something new to be looking at right now. And, a lot of the time his analysis is very long term. So it can be, I think for him, it can be a little bit frustrating because, he'll say something and a lot of the time it comes true. But in the period in between when he says it and when it actually happens, there's just like a fucking metric shit ton storm coming his way from people who just disagree for whatever reason because they misunderstood or they didn't listen or whatever, whatever. Sweden has the worst imitation problems. Imitation problems. I see what you did there. I will... Oh god, man, Detroit hustles harder. They definitely do go hard there, that's for sure. It looks like fucking Afghanistan is what it looks like to me, man. Yeah, they have literal first world problems. Exactly, Tom Struck. They have first world problems here. They don't really have anything else. Like, you can actually drink the water here out of the tap. You know that? It's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. You just go for it, and it tastes fucking good too, man. It's good for you. Like, they care about you in that way. You don't need to go to the supermarket and buy organic food. It's all organic. It's all good for you. They don't allow them to poison it before they give it to people. It's really crazy. What's your real problem, Elsa? Enlighten me as to what... The weather is shit. Yes, that's right. When everything is so good that you complain about the weather 24/7, that's white privilege. Sorry. 1 in 5 countries in Europe where you can drink tap water. I don't know, but it's definitely the best. Definitely the best here. Donkey Two Tie says, Krown, hi, help in all capitals. What's up, man? I don't know if I can help you, but I can speak to you over the interwebs, and maybe we can figure out some sort of a solution for your undefined situational problem. So how do I move to Finland? Does Elsa have some cute friends? She does. She has a friend who will literally fuck anyone who talks to her, actually, as well. Literally, she will literally spread her legs for anyone who talks to her. It's actually insane, and she's pretty. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. Krown should sell water bottles. I'd buy one. Elsa bought me a massive red dildo water bottle once. I think I lost it in Chicago. What's up, Ian Terry? Good morning to you, ma'am. On my way, and we're all and then Finnair is getting a lot of business right now, so that's really good. Zuckerberg Dove Reptilian. Eggplant so good. Slurp slurp. Yum yum. Indeed, Ola. Indeed. Yeah, but there's only 5 countries in Europe where you can drink tap water. Oh yeah, okay. Well, fair enough. Is there a donkey, bro? Anyways, all right, maybe it's time to actually get into some analysis. I expect that it's probably about the crowd that we're gonna get for today. Again, boring as hell, but things do happen during the boring times. So I'm gonna start recording. And what is the title of today? Yeah, Bitcoin is failing. Bitcoin is failing. Well, Bitcoin might be failing to put in a lower low or higher high in this case. And as Bitcoin continues to consolidate, there is a bit of a time analysis that I want to be going through on today's video that can kind of outline, the next few days, I suspect, perhaps into next Monday or Tuesday, as to maybe what is most likely to happen within that time frame. So I think other than that, it's time to just jump right into it. By the way, if you're watching this at a later time, this is actually being recorded live as we do live streams right now on Friday mornings, which is really, really nice. You can join on in. All right, sweet. I'm going to switch on over here to the chart view. We're going to start it off right over here. I need to get my notes ready because they are not ready right now. And there we go. And sweet. All right, so first things first, I just wanted to make this as simple as humanly possible. If you want the most simplistic 1-second analysis, here would be, look, if you're seeing this high right here, and you're seeing this low right here, and not this one in the middle because that one is drawn in for some god-awful reason. But if you're seeing this wick high and this wick low, if Bitcoin takes a trade above or below either one of those wicks, very, very likely you're going to see some nice continuation in the direction of that. To the downside, very likely looking at least low $28,000 territory, maybe even 26,900. To the upside, at that point, this is going to start to look like the next major low. Bitcoin probably trades back up north of 31,000 bucks and continue onwards and forwards from there. If we put on our drawing tools right here, I'm going to show that the weekly Gaussian channel, which is closing today for CME, is still continuing to base off the top side of that Gaussian channel. The bottom side of it, the top side of it currently coming in around 28.4. Yeah, 28.4, that's correct. Contrast that with spot price action, which is coming in at actually 28.5 or so. So still, as long as Bitcoin is above there, difficult to be looking for any sort of, major breakdown in this case. Like I said, potentially even all the way back down to 26,900. But for right now, as long as Bitcoin's above it, hopium still is alive for the boo laws, and as long as it's above or that wick low that we just pointed out on the lower term time frame, is a little bit easier to see. Anyways, until then, as Bitcoin continues to go sideways here, I would say that within the next, let's call it 4 to maybe even 6 days, there is pressure onto the downside. The pressure onto the downside I'm getting namely from the higher term time frames. First and foremost, we can start it off right over here with the 2-day time frame chart. Again, this is a 2-day volatility versus stochastic momentum setup, and it is actually live right now. So this one is technically, is technically in play, although there has not really been any major move upon it. But as we do see volatility expand from extreme lows, this has led to an average move, of let me bring it over, over here, in the mid 20% over the course of about 2.5 to 3 weeks. And if we do look at the stochastic oscillator, which does have a high probability of, forcing that direction of that volatility expansion, it is still continuing to the downside. The current pivot is 29,150, and that will actually be closing tonight. So again, as long as Bitcoin continues to trade sideways here without fully breaking down, this will naturally have a bullish reset. And if it does have a bullish reset, then the probability is going to once again, twist in favor of the upside. This is going to be considered a failure in terms of the actual stochastic setup, but the statistics would still apply in this case to the upside. So that would be quite good. But like I said, it's going to take at least a few more closing periods before that's really set in stone. And I would say at minimum Monday, Tuesday of next week is where I'd be looking towards, meaning that if Bitcoin fails to break down below this current area, right now the current pivot is 29,150, so that'd be the one to watch for tonight, then naturally speaking, that will have a bullish reset. Until then, pressure is onto the downside. Downside technically is more likely, but we've been living in the same damn range for it really feels like 6-7 weeks now. So it's almost difficult to even imagine Bitcoin moving above $30,000 or below 28.5 at this point. It feels like, especially on a closing basis. Anyways, moving on now, I did want to go into the HPGR ranges. I think that they just get things incredibly well right here. The average of the 12-hour range now coming in at 29.5. That would be a good indication in the short term, if Bitcoin were to claim it on a closing basis, very specifically, that the upside may very well emerge. And of course, from there, we could look at the top side of the range, currently coming in just below $31,000 versus the bottom side of the range, currently coming in just above $28,000. Those numbers still going to be relevant, upon continuation of the downside or an actual reversal to the upside in this case. If we go through and check out stochastic momentum, the higher term timeframes are going to be favoring the downside as well, actually here, especially when we go to CME, which is closing the weekly today, by the way, and that one will continue with downside momentum as long as Bitcoin's below 31,250. 5-day time frame, same thing, same number actually, in fact, as well. This one not closing today, obviously, but going to be closing on Monday. 2-day time frame for CME, going to be continuing with downside momentum, again closing Monday, I believe it is, below 30,800. Daily is going to be showing upside above 29, actually, which it is above by $300, a little bit more than $300 right now. 12-hour time frame is going to be also showing upside above 29,250, which it is a few bucks above as of this moment. Not really super conclusive, with still 3 hours, 40 minutes, and 45 seconds left to go in this closing period. 6-hour time frame is going to be showing upside actually technically as well above 29,280, but same thing right there, same closing period as well actually. 4-hour time frame going to be showing downside below 29,380. Is extremely unhelpful right now, by the way. And hourly is going to be showing it's going to be showing upside above 29,322, currently trading 29,335. So really unhelpful on the very, very low term timeframes. However, I do want to call attention to the 2-day, 5-day, and weekly, which are all pointed heavily down here for CME, coming into the weekly closure. So 30,800 and above, basically going to be keeping that higher term timeframe momentum to the downside. Which is why I would actually still be favoring the downside. The question is, however, if Bitcoin does break down, what are the areas of interest? Same thing as before. basically low 28,000 bucks would be the first one. And yeah, that could potentially be a low. I don't want to see it in real time. If that one does fail, then I'd be looking at somewhere around 26.9. And if that one fails, then probably looking just below 25,000 bucks. So for right now, again, as long as Bitcoin trades sideways here, the longer that it trades sideways, the more and more naturally it will start to twist into a more bullish narrative. But in the more near term, especially over this next, I would say 4 or 5 day, maybe even 6 day spread, probabilities will favor the downside, just, technically speaking. If we actually go back to the volatility versus stochastic momentum setup over here, I do want to go over one quick little thing in the sense that because this would be considered a downside setup as the 2 day stochastic oscillator is still positioned, to the south side, we could go ahead and bring up these statistics over here. And I just want to see on the 2 day vol short, what is the win percentage specifically for this one? So out of the full history of Bitcoin, there's been 19 total iterations. 16 of those have played out with downside fashion. So a rather high hit rate. Average return about 25.5% with a standard deviation of 8. So, at least like a mid-teens move if that one does happen. Assuming that it does play out at all. Anyways, going back into it, I do want to finish on one last thing as well. If we go ahead and look at traditional markets, which we did do this yesterday as well, but I think I think it'd be good to do the same thing today here too. Still want to point out that hey, there is some bearish divergence on the weekly RSI, and this one is going to be closing the weekly today. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to play out today. Obviously, these things take quite some time to play out, but the full picture for especially Nasdaq is that it hit the $16,000 target, which was a major target coming off of the breakdown that we saw from December of 2021, January of 2022, basically. And while it probably, grinds up the, alongside this area, maybe even taking a little bit of time, I would be looking for a general pullback into a higher low. Long term, I'd still be very much bullish on this. But the real question is how far down does it come first before trying for that higher low? And I suspect, probably somewhere around that 21x benchmark average is usually a fair bet, but going to take some time. So it completely depends upon when it actually starts to approach that area. But of course, if this one comes down and traditional markets and Bitcoin are correlated, well, that would imply that Bitcoin probably more likely to trade to the downside here too. In fact, you know what? I'll leave you with this. We'll do one last kind of new thing here too. Let me bring up my correlations. Let me make sure that it's ready over here. And yeah, we'll get to that soon. Sexy girl slots as well. And yes, it is slots. Okay, I said slots. But if we look at the correlation of Bitcoin to Nasdaq, that would represent the blue line right here. The red line represents a regression. So the regression, as you can see, is relatively high over time. That means that the long-term trend is pretty highly correlated, to be fair. I wish that we could actually pull back a little bit more history here, but I'll just go back to the weekly. Anyways, in this case, again, if this one's more likely to come down, Bitcoin's more likely to come down with it realistically. So it depends how far down it comes, and then we can start to look at Bitcoin. Once that does happen. So kind of a long way of saying, yeah, it'd still be favored the downside, but I could be proven wrong again, especially if Bitcoin does start to continue sideways over this next week, and especially trade back above that $30,000 wick high that we saw from, I believe it was early this week, or was it earlier last week? Let me just double check. It feels like it's been an eternity ago. No, it's literally just a few days ago. It was on Wednesday. Yeah, 30,000 bucks right there. So that's where I'll be leaving it for today. Hopefully that was in some way helpful. I'll be signing off now. Take care and see you hopefully Saturday. Yeah. Nice one. All right. Feeling kind of sloppy. It's too damn hot in this bitch, man. It's too damn hot. We have ACs in the main room and in the bedroom, but not in the workroom. So unfortunately, this is I'm sweating, man. I'm sweating. All right, let me pop up the chats over here. Bless you, sir. Can we look at OPUSDT on Bybit? Sure. Yeah. Let's see what the shitcoins are doing today. OPUSDT. All right. Okay. And actually looking pretty good. Pretty good for at least one more drive of continuation. I like the silver cross to the upside right here. I like, hidden bullish evidence in that last low. Obviously already played out, at least the easy portion of that. Yeah, I think at least it at least tries a little bit higher towards about 190-ish region. And I'd probably be looking for a bit of a pullback there, but I don't really know what time frame you're going off of because you didn't specify. But 4-hour time frame, daily time frame, both in a nice healthy uptrend. Looking for at least one more drive continuation. I would say 4-hour time frame like 185, daily time frame 190ish region, something like that. Not bad at all, actually. I'm gonna take another sip of this water. We'll get to some more of these comments over here. Sweating like a slut in church. Oh, you bastard. that was very clever, actually. That was very clever. Krown boiling the ocean with his AC. Yes, that's exactly right. Finnish people fucking hate that, man. They really don't like that. The environment does not like that, sir. They don't like me running the ACs at all hours a day. But you know what? I don't like them. Chris Cat says, stocks will have an update tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is actually Saturday, so they don't trade. And Bitcoin will spend weekend going up to test highs. To teat highs. To teat highs? Teat? Who's teat? Can you go through how you scan charts for info like that just now, says Quentin? Well, the thing is that I make notes of like major points. So I always want to be looking at something over here for, whoops, wrong chart. I want to be looking at my HPDR ranges always, to kind of confirm just, general consolidation regions and areas of interest. I want to be looking at just kind of my basic generic indicators like RSI and stochastics, just to kind of see, is there any divergences to be aware of? Where's the general momentum kind of at? I want to see general trends, so I want to be looking at major moving averages, and then sometimes, if it's available, I'll be looking at some of the setups that are typically based off of some sort of volatility, momentum, or statistics-based indicators, conglomeration, just whatever's available there. It's what I'll kind of go off of. Oh, Mr. Caretaker, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Nuke the whales. That's right. Fucking cook them, man. What have they done? What have they done? I don't see the whales making any sort of amazing inventions, so fuck them. C-Perk says, Ion Q held strong. Okay, I remember, I think you asked about this one last week. Oh, yeah, it's a real stock. Did it hold strong? I mean, I think it's put in a stock here. Sorry, a top here. I can't speak today, man. I'm really struggling. I got a decent night of sleep, but I don't know. I think yesterday's training session was rather hard. No, I think it's put in a high here, man. Multiple drives, bearish everyone's come off that last high. I have this area marked off, so I'm guessing it's some sort of historical area. It is. I would favor this area for a general pullback. Weekly is a nice massive doji yield, though. Weekly RSI is at some of the highest levels it's seen since 2021. It's not that far back. But a good place for some sideways and down. Similar to NASDAQ, it's like, this is not a bearish chart, okay? It's not a fucking bearish chart, but it can pull back into a higher low. How far does it pull back? Nobody knows. I don't know, $16 would be fair game. If things get really crazy, maybe somewhere closer to the 55, like $13.50, $14, something like that. Be fun. Magic 8 Ball says breakout confirmed or liquidity grab. No, I think it's a generally good place for a pullback, man. MMA Slop says thoughts on the nasty SEC shitcoin pulse chain UST. Oh god, man, dude, I listened to holy shit, man. I listened to a 3-hour long. Yeah, it was 3-hour long. Spaces on Twitter with it was done under Scott Melker's banner. I forget what they call themselves, crypto town hall, something like that. I actually really like listening to all their stuff. Like, it's highly entertaining. I don't know how much it matters, but it's highly entertaining. And that episode was fucking super entertaining, man, because they were just letting like random fucking hexkins from Twitter onto the spaces, and like some of these guys actually spoke really well and intelligently, but you can kind of tell that they're drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's like nothing that you could possibly say to them is going to be construed as like in a bad light. It's like, hey man, so did you buy this pulse chain with expectations of profit? It's like, well, no, I did it to express my freedom of speech. It's like, I believe you. But then there was the guys who were like, I made money. I made money on Pulse Chain. Who the hell gonna be telling me that Richard Hyde is a scammer? Who'd he scam? Who's telling me to scam? It's like, sir, you have a severe misunderstanding of the allegations that are being brought upon your Lord and Savior, and I don't want you as my lawyer, for sure. It was so fucking funny, man. It was so fucking funny. and like he said everything that I'm pretty sure he will be using. That recording will be used in court as like like what are you doing? You just proved their fucking point, you idiot. Oh god. Again, another community where it's like they just needed dads, man. The Z's people and the Hex people, they're the same. They're the same. Elsa says they need to get laid. Now you're going too far. There are some good pulse chain people, some good Hex. Here's the thing. Here's what I will say about Hex or pulse chain or that whole thing is that the smartest people, the absolute smartest people are probably involved in Hex chain. Also the dumbest people as well. Why is that? Because the smartest people know that that's sort of an interplay. When you have a community like that, well, you can do what Hex did, pump up a shit ton and dump all of it on the unsuspecting true believers. Anyways, looking at pulse chain over here, chart wise, I mean, look, if I'm going to give it its due diligence, it's like we don't really have enough in price action history here to give it like a real analysis. Is the history that we do have terrible? Fuck yeah, it's absolutely terrible. But there's really no true analysis to be had on something that's been around for just a few months. Generally speaking, in a pretty nasty bear market. Well, I don't know if I'd necessarily... No, this is not a bear market. This is a transitionary market. But still, it doesn't rally when Bitcoin rallies. It seems to dump pretty hard when the SEC sues some of the founders. But I made money! God, I'll never forget that. I'll never fucking forget that. Like, he was screaming. So fucking good. And like, of course, the person's username on Twitter isn't like Robert Schneider. It's like Hexkin Warrior, you know, or like Hexkin True Believer. It's like, what the fuck? Do you have a name, sir? Like, are you a person outside of this community or what?
Warrior.
I'm a warrior. That's right. We're just like Z's. That's right. And I'm Z's, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's a bad chart, but there's really not enough history to be looking at it in like a real way. And I wouldn't be making any calls right here. I mean, knowing this market, like allegations getting brought upon someone like that, maybe even fucking help some long term. I don't know, man. This market is that fucking crazy. Let's see. West Coast PC Builder says, can you look at Workhorse? I'm just gonna type in Workhorse over here and hope that something pops up. Oops, that's Workhouse. I'm really struggling today. I don't know what's happened. Maybe I should go join Hex. They have the answers. What the fuck is this, man? Can you look at it? It's dead. This horse is fucking dead. Look, is it going to bounce here more? Probably yes. Is it going to trade up to maybe 150? Probably yes. Do I believe that it's bottom long term? I mean, it's a fucking god awful chart, and it just seems to cough up every rally that it ever gets, going all the way back to 2010. But I suspect that it probably has a little bit more on this bounce. Maybe it even has one of these breakouts like you have seen before. But this should be a good low area for a while. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that I highly doubt it's going to be going below 85 cents on any sort of like continually closing basis, like any meaningfully lower than that area before at least trying a bit more on this rally, and maybe get one of these, over here, and it'll rally up to like fucking $5, and you'll just be wondering what the hell happened, and then it'll cough it up before you even realize what the hell happened. Anyways, Lucky says, Kaz, when exit, it's at all-time high. It looks for more, only 20% from old all-time high. 20%'s a lot, man. But let's see. Is this Casta or Caspa? Okay, Caspa is a ghost. Casta is Carl. It is at new all-time. It's 20% away from old all-time high. I can't even speak at all. It's terrible. Maybe there's another chart that I can pull up. Maybe KuCoin. No. Fuck it. Maybe Gate.io. No, I'm not really seeing anything that has an old all-time high that is significantly higher than what we do see as of right now. So I'm just gonna go with this one. Do I think that it has more? Yeah, I think it has another push to the upside. Overall, I don't think that it's topped out just yet. It looks like it's actually kind of in the process of freshly breaking out yet again. Looking at the weekly, yeah, I like it. Just want to see a weekly closure above like whatever this high is over here. It's 44.5. It looks like 44.5, and I'll be looking for this one to trend on to new all-time highs, or continuing to trend on with new all-time highs. Even if it corrected from here, I would still be looking at it as generally good. It's certainly one of the better charts that we've seen today, or the best chart that we've seen today. You know, if it wanted to correct, maybe somewhere down around just above 3 cents would be okay. But long term, good. I mean, very, very good for the history that we do have. It likes to go up, and significantly up, I'd say, as well, especially in the face of a market that has been generally down. Not bad at all.
Sir, did you check Banana Man?
Banana Man. Gold. Oh yeah, we can look at, do you want to look at gold, or do you want to look at GLD, or I think you mean GLD. No, you're talking about this. All right. Terrible. What is this? Is this actual? I thought gold was doing well. I haven't looked in a while, but no, this is obviously trending down, man. I'd be looking for this one to pop back down to like 1550, maybe even all the way back down to like 1440-ish region. Clear and obvious downtrend. Silver cross to the downside. Ugly. Monthly is just is literally a fresh trend to the downside. I'd say probably back down to mid 14s. Long term, weird as fuck. I'm guessing this is like the literal one that you asked me to look at, but maybe you were looking at like XAU or symbol GLD, perhaps. Possible. Anyways, I'll move on now. The judge says ALC on nice. Actually, this is cool. People are starting to put in the exchange that they're on as well. Sweet. And a time frame. Holy shit, man. You're amazing. Okay, let's go to a weekly first. Short-term pullback, similar to NASDAQ, right? You know, it's popped back around its prior all-time high. It's had a pretty strong run off the lows, obviously, but you know, having a pullback here is not anything. It's not like a crazy analysis. Weekly bearish evidence, similar to NASDAQ as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one come a little bit lower towards like 79, or maybe even lower than that, towards 77.5. But I'd be on higher low watch, man. Overall, not bad. It's just it's ready for a pullback after a pretty nice run to the upside. Sly Time 00 says EWT, please, daily and weekly. Okay, EWT. I know that this one's a crypto for sure on Kraken, and it is going down, sir. It likes to always go down, actually. Energy Web token on Pulse Chain. Look, it's putting in a slew of lower highs at the lows already. You know, something like this is what I'd be looking at. Just want to see this one close below these lows over here, and I'd be looking for this one to have like a really bad breakdown. Is it ready to actually do it right now, or does it put in another bounce and maybe do something like this and, you know, boom, and perhaps yes. But I'd have very, 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 very keen interest at 219. Any sort of a closure below there, and this thing's gonna probably undo the whole ICO rally back to like April 2020 lows, like certainly below $1 again. If that happens, the only way that I get bullish on something like this, if it pops back above this high that you saw here on February of this year, that is at about $5. It's nowhere near there, and every indication is pretty much bearish. Actually, not good. Yeah, not good, man. Daily down. It also appears to be going down. Yeah, not great, man. Might try a little bit of a bounce here. I mean, if you're on the very low term time frames, bounce is fine. But overall picture weekly, I mean, if this thing bounced back up to $3.5, that I think that would be a gift from God for another lower high, and get the fuck out and kiss it goodbye. Let's see. John Brooks says thoughts on C Pool. Okay, let's see. I don't know anything about it. Oh, Elsa said that she broke someone's heart because she posted a selfie with Richard. Yeah, it was. I've laughed so fucking hard at that picture for so long. Like, apparently Richard Hart was hitting on girls coming out of like drunk girls coming out of clubs in Helsinki, like super late at night, and he hit on Elsa, and it's like, all right, nice. That's called hitting on someone, you fucking moron. Like, you're not even aware. This is how silly girls are. They don't even know when they're being hit on. They don't even know where they're being hit on. Elsa just said, he didn't hit on me. He just said that I had a nice purse. What do you think? Why do you think a dude is telling you, hey, like you're walking out of a bar, it's fucking 2 or 3 a.m. Hey, over here. Over here. I just want to tell you, nice purse. It's like, what the fuck? Well, that's because they're Finnish and they don't know how to speak. Sea Pool, another absolutely god-awful, just terrible chart. Long term, is it going to bounce here? Probably yes. Probably yes. It really wouldn't take too much. I don't know how much it does. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't even have bullish divergence there. I was going to say it probably has bullish divergence. I guess it doesn't. Does this one have a nice purse? I don't know. I like the problem with something like this is that it can put in a very quick bounce towards like 3 cents, and it wouldn't mean shit. It'd still be long-term down, but you know, it can just do one of these quick moves, cough it up, and continue on with the long-term downtrend. Terrible long-term. Terrible long-term. Maybe the worst chart that we've seen long-term. Truco Production says comp on KuCoin. Okay. Stochastic momentum is critical on basically all time frames up to 12-hour, trying to identify a bounce condition. Well, let's see. Is critical. This looks very obviously to me like another local high. Weekly has it's not even a head and shoulders, it's just a fucking failure and a rejection. Yeah, I don't like the price action right there, to be honest with you. You know, does it bounce? Look, you didn't give. Okay, so you're on very low term time frames because you said stochastic momentum is critical on basically all time frames up to a 12-hour. All right, so I'm looking at like daily and above. You're looking at 12-hour and below. All right, so on the lower term time frames, does it try for a bounce here? I'm gonna look for some hopium. You know, look, it might, but this is a sinking ship right here. Yeah, this is a sinking ship right here. It, you know, might bounce back up to like 59, maybe even like maybe a little bit above 60 again. This to me though, on the higher term time frames is this is a local high, man. Very likely to trade back to the downside. I don't like what's going on there. Yeah. So short term, does it bounce? Yeah. Well. I honestly don't know in the short term if I would say that it's going to bounce. Just because stochastic momentum is low isn't like the best signal. You need to be interpreting that within the context of volatility and also trend. And right now the trend is to the downside. So when you see stochastic momentum about to turn up from those low levels, it's like, yeah, you might get a bounce, but that bounce is very likely going to be another lower high. Does it trade a little bit? I think it probably trades a little bit lower before it tries another bounce, honestly. Might trade a little bit towards like 55-ish before trying for a bounce. I really don't have strong opinions on the low-term time frames for this one, though. It's the higher-term time frames that are like abysmal. Algo Gator, that's a cool name. Algo USD, daily long-term. Are algo gators? Are alligators? Are those the ones in Florida or are those crocodiles? No, those are alligators.
Florida, even I know that.
Florida, even I know that. Okay, do you want a fucking prize? Like, you have the internet. Bad. Pretty bad, man. Another descending triangle on the lows already. And it literally only goes down. Sir, we have a problem here. Bad, man. It's same thing as a lot of the other ones. Like, it might get another bounce. Might even bounce all the way back to like 11 cents. But the lower highs are in, my friend. It looks ugly. It looks ugly. It's a chart that only a mother could love. Oh, look at this nice little chart here. It's just in a growing phase. It's under whale accumulation. Ha 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 ha. You're just a growing little chart. You need more downside before you can go up. Yeah, it might bounce one more time, short term, but long term, which sounds like you're a little more interested in, Pretty fucking bad, dude. The only way that I turn around to bullish in this one is if you reclaimed this high right here. And bullish is not the right term. Like you don't become bullish after going down like this, you know, for 2-3 years. Meanwhile, the rest of the market, or Bitcoin and some of the other strong ones, bounce pretty fucking hard. You know, 50% bounce or 100% bounce for Bitcoin off the lows. This one didn't join in. But I like the logo. Can the devs do something? Exactly right, my man. Exactly right. Good night, Mr. Jev. Good night, man. All the best, dude. All the best. Tyler says Bitcoin, aka Harry Potter Obama Sonic Inu 10. Sorry, Obama Sonic 10 Inu will be bigger than Peepee and will eventually take down Shib. You heard it here first. I believe you. What do you say to that? I don't fucking know. Okay. All right. Where was I? Nick A says, loving the return to the live streams. Yeah, man, every Friday, you know, I'm happy to be consistent with this. It actually might be, however, that next Friday we don't have one, but if we don't do it next Friday, I will probably do it another day. My trainer wants to, he has something to do on Saturday, so we have to do our training session probably on Friday, and it's my least fucking favorite one because we have to do this thing called the assault bike, and dude, if you've never done the assault bike in your life, you don't know what it is to die. I'm sure there are other very difficult things as well, but holy shit, man, the assault bike, like, I can't fucking believe how hard it was. 17 minutes of full effort, full fucking effort. Like, you feel like you're suffocating. You feel like you're fucking dying. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. I was crying like a little bitch, like a little fucking baby. I'm not too proud to admit it. I was like a fucking baby. It's like, no, we can't do more. We can't do more. Should Lizzo do the assault? Lizzo will have a heart attack. I think I was having a heart attack. Like, it was that fucking hard. It was that hard. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Google assault bike, and then it's intervals: 20 seconds full effort, 10 seconds rest. You don't even rest, basically. It's 10. By the time the 7 seconds is up, you've like literally just breathed once, and then you're going again, and then you do that 10 times, rest for 1 minute, do another fucking 10 times, rest for 1 minute, and then do it another 10 times. Hardest work I've ever done in my life. Hardest. Aussie stock CBA on weekly chart. Sure, man. CBA. Can't be asked, bro. That used to be like a really popular English saying, I think, or Australian. I don't know. Long-term consolidation at the highs. Long-term, probably bullish. Short-term, probably comes down a bit more. I'd be looking for it at least to come down to like 1 or 1.5 before trying for a bounce. Does the weekly say I should be looking lower? Actually, it kind of does. Maybe the monthly will tell. No, I actually think it probably tries for a bounce relatively soon. 1 and 1.5. If 1 and 1.5 fails, or especially if $100 fails, I will be very much wrong on this one, and you can expect it to come all the way back down to like 97. And I'd be looking for bounces there and play the same game probably. Vito says, how did you and Elsa meet? Tinder. Also, can you glance at Ave? I'm stuck. Well, I should have skipped someone. We'll get to that in a second, man. I'm sorry, but I did skip a couple of people here. Nero's Art says, morning, sir. Good morning. BMB and a bear flaggerino. Elsa always says Renos. I want to watch the movie Reno today. It's like, what the fuck are you trying to say? I want to watch a movie Reno. You say that all the fucking time. Well, you haven't said it in the last year, but before that. I want to hug a Reno. Give me Kissarinos. Can we watch a movie Reno? I want to go on a vacation Reno. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Speak English.
That's not my first language.
Okay. But it's your best one. Really weird chart here on the daily. It's like it wants to break. It's like Bitcoin. It wants to break down, but it doesn't. It wants to break down, but it just won't. Look, I think the best thing for me to do on this one would be the same thing as Bitcoin. It's like above 261.5 on a daily. Good. You can probably look for a rally back up, maybe close to like $300. To the downside, just want to see a closure below like 230, and this one can probably be sent all the way back down to the full-on range lows at 206. Generally speaking, I do think that it will find its way down to 206. But it's very difficult, you know. I've never made money I've never made money. No, I've never made money looking for a breakdown while price is trading right on the 200 moving average on the weekly, while the jewel light is also about to print an upside signal, or at least for a bounce. Like usually when it breaks these things, it doesn't like trade sideways on it for forever. It gets like a little bit of a bounce first, and then once you think like, oh shit, it's bullish again, something like that. I've never had much luck doing that. When I traded in a more discretionary fashion in the past. Generally speaking, one massive consolidation range. Anything below 350 is uninteresting to the upside. Anything above 206 is uninteresting to the downside. But have to be kind of favoring the downside overall, I think. Looking at a monthly, it's a weird one though, because BNB just does weird shit. It just does weird shit, man. It just does weird shit in my experience. So yeah, I think best to go off for ranges in that case. Is it a bear flaggerino? Technically yes, but the problem is that like it does weird shit. What are you saying, sir?
Can you explain what a Twinkie is?
Can I explain what a Twinkie is?
Twinkie.
Elsa doesn't know what a Twinkie is because Finnish people aren't allowed to be fat. Like they're not allowed to have poison here. A Twinkie. I actually don't even really know what a Twinkie or like a hoagie is, but I think it's like a baked good with cream in the middle and something like that. Yeah, but it comes in a piece of plastic, and you find it at like an R kiosk, okay, like a 7-Eleven.
It has 500 calories.
Yeah, it has 500 calories. Yeah, it's very small. It's highly processed. It's probably nothing that anyone should really eat ever. But you know what? Twinkies and hoagies and what else do we? Are those still a thing? Remember, a Twinkie gets filled in 3 holes, not 1. Oh God, Twinkies are illegal in Finland. Oh, they discontinued it. I wonder why they discontinued it. Was it not selling well, or?
Poison, sir.
Because it's poison. They sell all sorts of other poisonous shit. Like what's the problem with Twinkies? Joyce of Valkov says, "Hi, sir. What's up, man? NKLA." All right, let's see. Nicola. Daily weekly targets bought at 60 cents after receiving notice that will be delisted if below $1. Today are earnings in the vote to dilute 1 to 2. Sounds scary. This is a pretty good area overall for a nice pullback, I would say. Anywhere in here. And it's just started to graze against that region already. You bought at 60 cents. It's at 340. I mean, the problem is, or it's not the problem. It's like the question is, if this one is still long-term macro bearish, this is where you'd be expecting your next lower high on the weekly. Monthly, maybe it trades closer to like 480, maybe even $5. But on the monthly, when I'm looking at it, anywhere in this region right here, I'd be looking for highs. And for it to come at least go into consolidation for a while, probably come back down at least a little bit as well. So that's where I kind of be looking towards. And it's just starting to get that region right now. Personally speaking, looking at the daily, I do think that it probably has another try to the upside. Yeah, on the daily probably has another try to the upside. How high does it get? Maybe it tags into the deeper end of that, closer to $5. But I'd really be looking for this one to put in something resembling a local high somewhere in there. Unless if this one really had some sort of like breakthrough in whatever the hell it's trying to do. This is already a very impressive run, right? I mean, this went from 50 cents, basically you're buying, up 600%. I mean, this isn't shitcoin land. I mean, it is shitcoin land, but this isn't like true shitcoin cryptocurrency land. I think it'd be reasonable to be looking for a local high somewhere within that region. Again, I don't know the story of this stock. I'm sure that they've done something crazy, but so yeah, that would just be my view from a technical perspective. Vito says, how did you and Elsa meet? Tinder. Also, can you glance at Aave? I'm stuck, and after curve situation, it crapped. Okay. I actually don't really even know the story of this. Despite the market not really moving all that much, or at least Bitcoin not moving all that much, there's been a lot of news stories coming out. Yeah, bad. Weekly, hidden bearish divergence. Another descending triangle. I already have this one charted out, I guess. Very likely coming back down to range lows at $51 or so. Nothing bullish about this chart as long as you're below about 95-ish. Yeah, 95, I'd say. Monthly is a problem too. Yeah, not great. Not great. If Bitcoin dumps out, this one's gonna get absolutely fucking boo-caked. I don't know what time frame you're on, but pretty much every time frame that I'm looking at is printing bearish formations and bearish signals here. Yeah. Only hopium long term if you do see it move back above about 96. In the short term, a little bit of a hopium for an extended bounce for this one, can trade back above about 67. Maybe it tags like lower 70s if that happens, but that's a big if for right now. Everything pointed down. Yeah. All time frames nasty. Very, very technical descending triangle right there, though. I mean, it's it's getting just about picture perfect. So, these things, again, they can take some time. Like, it might do this, blah, 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 and then blip, could do something like that. Might just go blip, can take a million different paths within this formation right here. But the result typically the same. Again, assuming that you remain below that $96 pivot. 60 Girl Slot says, if Bitcoin hits 25,000, what's a worst case area for doggy? Okay, so this is an if statement. If Bitcoin goes down big time, what happens to a highly esteemed asset like doggy coin? Well, all things considered, it's kind of relatively strong here compared to a lot of the other, a lot of the other shitcoin charts that we've seen. Would this be a good place for a local high? Perhaps yes. What are my LARP lines doing here? Okay, so I have my LARP lines here. I have it coming down now. I don't know. I don't know what I base this off of, honestly. But it seems like they're still working. Yeah, basically I'd be looking for... Okay, anyways, I'm getting way off track. Okay, if Bitcoin goes down to 25,000, where would I expect something like this to come down towards? At least 4 cents. 420 would be great. 420 would be absolutely perfect. Maybe as low as 2.5 cents. I'd probably be looking somewhere around these lows here. Probably 420, honestly. That'd be a pretty nasty drop. Let me just see. Yeah, that's a 50% drop. I don't know if I'd say there's a 50% drop. At least back down to range lows. Like around 5 cents. Maybe as low as 420, but that's pretty hefty right there. That's pretty hefty. All right, sweet. How deep into this are we? But what time is it? I have a few things to be doing today. Yeah, I can look at a few more. I do have to be a little bit aware of time. What's up, Alex Switch? Good morning, man. I've actually met Alex Switch now 2 times. We met in Santorini and also Helsinki. Alex Switch is the one crazy fucker who actually came to Helsinki. And I feel so bad because he came to Helsinki in June. And unbeknownst to Alex, June is not it's summer, but it's not summer. At least the week that he came, it was raining here. It was raining and cold. It's so fucking crazy, man. It's so fucking crazy. All right, Justin Tomiak says, I'll be listening from the car. Please take a look at LYXE or LYX. Is there a difference? Whoops. Can't type either. Luxo my dicko. Yeah. Daily and 5-day. Okay, so it's not really... Surely there's more history than this. LYXE. Let's see what this... Oh, whoops. Man, I'm just fucking up every which way that I go today. All right, here we go. Now we have a chart. Pretty bad. Pretty damn bad. Daily and 5-day. Yes, 2 charts due to mainnet going live. It's going to need more than a mainnet to save this thing, man. Not good. Not good. Not good. It's going to have bounces along the way. It might even bounce, in the current area. But ultimately, I'd be looking for this one to work its way back down somewhere just south of $5. Monthly, yeah, not a big fan of this. Long term, I think it's just going to enter into like a long term range like this. But it tested the highs, probably going to come down and test somewhere around the lows. And I think best case scenario is that you fill this out and it does this and this and this, and then maybe at a much later date it'll try some upside. But it sounds like you're more focused on the higher term time frames, and I think that's kind of like best case scenario. I think that's best case scenario for like a lot of things, just trading sideways and holding the range lows basically on the higher, on like the monthly. Joseph Valkov says daily, weekly, and yep, we already did that one, sir. So all good there. All good there indeed. Thoughts on Link? We can actually end on Link. What's up, Honig? Coming Monday, 26 degrees Celsius, thunder and wait, what? You have thunder and rain in Holland at 26 degrees Celsius? What the fuck? It's too hot for that. I hate it when it's hot and it rains. I fucking hate it, man. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. All right, what was I just about to do? Link, yes, that's right, Link. And then we'll look at Curve because that one apparently is having issues. So that'll be probably interesting. Link probably comes down a little bit here. Still the same thing, long term. I think that it holds this range sideways, and probably I actually don't. I think that this is the low right here, to be honest with you, for Link. So it's going to come down short term, most likely trade a bit more sideways, and then maybe try some upside. It's going to take its time, though, I suspect. Let's see. Yeah, daily wants a little bit more downside. Maybe it comes back down like at least 690, maybe all the way down to like 6 even. But again, same thing as the last one. It's like, if it does something like this and blah, 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 and then holds that for like another year, honestly, then yeah, we probably do see it try another move to the upside. What was the other one? CRV, yeah, Curve. Okay, Binance, bad. But it's in a bouncy region for now. Like theoretically, it should bounce a little bit more here. Very, very similar to a lot of the other charts. Let me see. Do you already have one here? I do, but this one's from like fucking, it's got to be from like years ago now. Here's a range of lows, declining highs coming in from here. Does it try another bounce off this region and maybe tag somewhere around these declining highs at like a buck? Definitely possible. If it does something like this, blah, 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 blah. But long term, that would be more on the bear side, obviously. I could tell you very obviously where I'd get bullish on this one would be back above that last prior major high at 126, 1.25 basically. But for right now, I actually think it's a lot more likely to bounce off this region than not. I don't think it's going to die from here. I think it's going to continue on sideways, and next move is probably a little bit of sideways and up. Okay, all right. I think that's it for today, fellas. My throat is starting to hurt me a little bit, and I need to get to what's it called? To massage time. I think you forgot OP request. Wait, did I forget an OP request? I mean, no. Oh, actually, someone did ask for OP at the very beginning. I forget what I said. It was actually one of the good ones. Yeah, it was one of the good ones. You can just scroll back to the beginning of the stream. Yeah. No, we did go over that one for sure. Sexy Girl Slots asked for it, actually. Sexy Girl Slots has what seems to be a Thai girl as an avatar. Very appropriate. Very, very appropriate. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, it's been a nice Friday over here. We'll be back on probably not next Friday, but maybe another day next week. Something like that could potentially work. And yeah, I'll be signing off on that note. As always, wishing everyone the best of the best. Thank you for joining in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it,